In The Plague, at an all-boys water polo camp, a socially anxious 12-year-old played by Everett Blunck is pulled into a cruel tradition targeting an outcast with an illness they call the plague. But as the lines between game and reality blur, he fears the Joker might be hiding something real. The Plague is directed by Charlie Polinger, and this film is his directorial debut, and The Plague just debuted at the Cannes Film Festival in the Uncertain Regard sidebar. The Plague is an impressive directorial debut. You know you're in the right hands pretty much from the opening shots, because the opening shot of this film is the camera in the pool, on the bottom of the pool, and then it's shooting up, and then we see the kids' legs moving in the water. There's maybe like 10-15 kids' legs moving in the water, and it's like they're fighting each other, but they're just playing water polo. But the music and the camera angles and the atmosphere just create a certain mood. So when you see this opening shot, you know you're in for something special. But that something special, it takes a while to come, because you have to be patient with this film. This is pretty much a slow burn, psychological thriller, horror type movie, and not much happens in the first hour of the film. It slowly builds and builds and builds. These boys in this water polo camp bully some of the different kids, and certain little incidents happen as the film goes on, but it's not very eventful. Like the majority of the film, it takes place in this water polo camp, and it's not until the final half an hour of the film where things escalate and a lot of strange and shocking things happen. In this film, The Plague, these boys, these 12, 13-year-old boys, they make up this plague illness, and they pick on one kid, Eli, played by Kenny Rasmussen. He's very different. He is quite intellectual, and he just says weird things and does weird things. Of course, he's probably his whole life he's been bullied in wherever he goes. It's strange that his parents would put him in a water polo camp, because of course he's going to get bullied. But anyway, but the film mainly focuses on Ben. It's from his viewpoint. Ben, played by Everett Blunck. He is the new kid in this water polo camp, and he's so much wants to fit in with the other kids. He wants to really just be mates with the other kids. He doesn't want to have a hard time in his water polo camp. And in the first half of the film, he becomes friends with the other kids. But there are one or two kids in this group of 12, 13-year-olds who he's like the ringleader of this kid. So if he chooses to be a bully to one of the other boys, then the other kids will definitely follow him and do whatever he says. And Ben, he kind of feels sorry for Eli, the bullied kid, so he kind of talks to him and he helps him out a little bit. And then when the other kids find out that Ben is being friendly to Eli, the outcast, the kid with the plague, then they start to bully Ben as well, and they make up rumors that he has this plague disease. And Ben really takes it very hard, because he so desperately wants to be one of the boys. And when the other boys decide that he has this plague disease, then he doesn't take it very well, and he starts to act out. This film has a really simmering atmosphere, like the long camera shots and the music, like the musical score is like this. It's like people singing that type of like musical score, blending with the atmosphere and the dark corridors and the water polo, really creates a unnerving atmosphere. And this film is really a commentary on bullying. This film is set in 2003, so there's no smartphones at this time, but of course every area of childhood going back decades and centuries, there's always been some way of boys being able to bully other boys. And this film is really much a commentary on just trying to fit in and being different and being accepted by other kids. And this film, you'll notice that there's not many adults in this film. Like every time the boys are bullying someone else. There's no adults in the room, so they are pretty much free to do whatever they want. So the only adult in this film basically is played by Joel Edgerton as one of the water polo camps, and he does interfere a few times in the film when he notices that the boys are bullying Ben and Eli, but a lot of the time in this film, the boys are allowed to bully someone else as much as they want, and you kind of thinking, like, especially at night time when the boys are sleeping in one big room, there's no adults. So, and this is a time when the boys can really do whatever they want and bully someone whenever they want. You're kind of thinking, where are the adults, and where are the adults intervening in this situation? But I think the film does this on purpose because it's trying to say, okay, there's still a lot of bullying going on, and at this current time, in the present time, bullying is really focused on a lot more than it has been in the past. But bullying is still allowed to happen. Like, where are the parents? Where are the parents? And this film, when the bullying takes place, there's no parents in the picture. And I think this film is really making a commentary on that bullying is still, boys are going to be boys, girls are going to be girls, and bullying is still going to take place no matter if adults are in the picture or not. So in the final act of the film, I won't spoil what happens, but it really, the main character Ben, he really comes into his own, and the film ends on quite a sobering scene, and in the first hour of the film it does get a little bit repetitive, but the final act of the film, where events escalate and Ben really comes into his own, it really gives you like thinking when the film ends, and you're kind of thinking, what just happened? I have to mention the performances. The two main performances that really stood out for me were Kenny Rasmussen as the weird kid. His debut film, he is really impressive. He is quite mature for his age. I would say he's about 13 years old, and he does a lot of weird things in the film, and he really quite impressed me. And the main performance, Ben, played by Everett Blunck, he's fantastic in this film. He's definitely a star in the making. The camera focuses on his face a lot, very close up in the film, and and you can really see him thinking and his emotions, and him reacting to the situation, especially in the second half of the film when the other kids decide to bully him, and he does really give a beautifully layered performance. I give The Plague 3.5 stars out of 5. This is definitely worth checking out this film if you're in for like a slow burn psychological horror. You have to be a little bit patient with this film, but if you're patient, then the third act of the film will definitely pay off for you. It's a fantastic lead performance by Everett Blunck as Ben, and this film just has a really good commentary on bullying. And even now, even though this film is set in 2003, it really has a commentary on bullying in the current age, and our kids just really want to be accepted even if they're different. So that's my review of The Plague. What did you think of The Plague? Please comment below what you thought of the film. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.